Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I am making a Mardi Gras wreath. I have a lot of complex feelings about Mardi Gras, which we'll get into. But yeah, I have my 14-inch Dollar Tree base. It's got 18 pipe cleaners on it. They're the natural color to go with this poly jute mesh, and I have another Mardi Gras poly jute mesh. I don't know what my sign's not over here, but let's keep that a surprise. I'm gonna start off. This is from Hobby Lobby. Their mesh is their mesh is base mesh. That's what I always think. Like, it's good to put under something else. It's a good filler, especially when it's on sale. It's only like $4.99. It's just not that it's not okay to do a full wreath with it. It's just it's thin. So economically, it makes more sense to spend an extra $1 and get a much nicer mesh if you're gonna do that. If not, if you can only go to Hobby Lobby, it's fine. So I'm gonna do the poof, which my math's the wrong way for, but we'll deal with it. So I'm gonna cable tie. I already have something in my eye. That's the only thing about working with like the poly jutes. You get fluff everywhere. It's one of those things when you're cutting it, you should probably be wearing a mask, but I have to wear a mask everywhere. I'm not wearing one inside my house. But if you are, something else flew behind the table. If you are have breathing issues, you should definitely wear a mask. So I am going to measure out 12-inch poofs, and we will go from there. And this happens to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I can use this as my measurement. And I zip tied in front of this one, because this will be where we'll end our first row. So how's everybody doing? It is December 13th and I've had a super rough day. And not just like a couple of hours, like since 1 o'clock. Okay, sorry, that was my mom texting me from work that she was on her lunch break. Where was I? The dog has like 10 places to lay, and he's choosing to lay on top of a bag of fiberfill instead of like a blanket or a sweater that's on the chair. Yeah, my night was not the best because, that's why I called my mom right back. She is working from 2 to 11 as part of her new job title at Walmart, and I was fine with it because if I have a problem where I'm like, I need to talk to my mom, she's up like 5 hours later than usual. I mean, she's usually in bed by, 8 o'clock is my cutoff. Like, I never call her after 8. So I was like, well, this won't be bad. So I told her, I said, I'll be sleeping by the time you get off. Just text me and let me know you got home safe. Not that I was worried because she lives right across the street from Walmart. She lives in a safe neighborhood, but, she's coming home late at night. So I fell asleep and I woke up at like 1 and I grabbed my phone to make sure she texted me, and there was no text. And instead of saying, oh, she just forgot, or, oh, sometimes the texts don't go through, my first thought was, they're keeping her, she stayed later. Then I was like, well, there's no way she would have stayed 2 hours later. And if she had, she would have texted me anyway. And then my second thought is, yeah, she definitely got in a car accident on the way home from Walmart. But I said, no, she's only got to drive like across the street. That's not it. I said, somebody must have come into Walmart at closing time, held the place up, and now she's being held hostage. And I said, no, that's probably not a thing. And then it was, oh, well, somebody saw her trying to get into her house at 11 o'clock at night and kidnapped her, sold her. I don't know. So I stayed up for like 2 hours, freaking out, because that's who I am. And I text her when I wake up, and I'm like, you didn't message me last night, you were supposed to text me. And then like an hour later, it's like 6 a.m. and I'm like, call me as soon as you get this. And then it's like an hour later and it's like 7 a.m. and I was like, no matter what time she went to sleep, there's no way she's sleeping past 7. So I called her and she was sleeping. And I was like, why didn't you text me? She's like, I did text you, but she texted me, but she didn't send it. So that was not a great night's sleep for me. But she got home fine. And then I took my Bidurian yesterday, which is an injectable that I take once a week. And sometimes I'm fine with it, and sometimes it makes my brain explode. And today was one of the brain explode ones. I was just like, this is unbearable. You know, like when your head hurts so bad and you're trying every trick in the book? I remember when I was little, we had this. It was like a A to Z of medicine, and it included, you know, like all good medical books, like Old Wives' Tales on how to cure what ails you. And one of them was, use an iron nail and rub it against your temple and then drive it into the base of an oak tree. And that'll take your headache from your head, put it in the nail, and then you'll give it to the tree. And I didn't have an iron nail, I didn't have an oak tree, so I rubbed the regular nail up against my head and then threw it in the bushes in front of my house. And I almost did that again today because my head hurt so incredibly bad. So as a treat to myself, I just kind of stayed in bed all day. I got up a little bit, I watched a movie, but I'm kind of useless when I get one of those headaches. But anybody who suffers from migraine, tension headaches, cluster headaches, I mean, you know how bad that can get. I was just like, I just wanted to be productive today. I wanted to be productive. I wanted to like do something, and here I am. But I did record a voiceover for another Wreath, and I had a video edited, so I got some stuff done, and now it's like it's 6 o'clock, it's 6:13, and I've taken 2 naps today, and I have some tea over here, so I will be awake at 11 o'clock. And if I don't get a text message, I'm calling at 11:30 and being like, hey, it's me. I think I'm happy for my mom that she's, you know, she's got a job where she's got more responsibility and she's making more money, but I don't like change. But then, you know, another thought occurred to me, in that maybe Maybe I'm not the only person who matters in the whole world. I know, right? Crazy. Okay, so this is my last one. That's where we came up at, so I'm going to twist that off. This will go in the scrap pile again. I think I have enough of, like, I have this roll, I have 2 more like this, I have one with the white in it. I think I have enough to do an entire wreath base just of scraps. And he's gonna go to the back. Tie that down. So who wants to talk about Mardi Gras? My garbage can's right there, so I mean that makes me feel like a pretty productive member of society. Alright, this is pretty pooped out. I was kind of trying to keep it straight as I was going. See, it's just, like, remember yesterday we did, not yesterday, I'm trying to remember what wreath it was, the black and red Mardi Valentine's Day wreath when we were done. No, not that one. I have no idea. One of the wreaths that had a little bit extra coverage you couldn't see straight through it. This one you can see through it. So that's my only gripe with Hobby Lobby meshes. It's a little thin. But you could always do the crisscross poof method if you want, if you don't know what that is. I have a video on it, but go watch Busy Bee Custom Creations. She's better at it than me. She's better at explaining things than me. Okay, so this is our mesh. Oh, it is so soft. Not like not like super soft because it's jute, but it's like very pliable, which I was not expecting. Let me move my tea over here. This is white chocolate peppermint. Me and my mom had this thing where we're like, did you like it? Like if you buy something and you're like, did you like it? I'm like, and our scale on whether or not we like something is whether or not I would finish it or if I would buy it again. And I was like, I like it, but I wouldn't buy it again. She's like, oh, okay, but it's weird. Chocolate and tea not my thing. I'm just ruffling these. I'm just gonna turn the edges under and just ruffle. And I'm gonna do the inside first, I think. Yeah. So, Mardi Gras. I hate Mardi Gras. I hate Mardi Gras so much. And I'm not sure when it happened. I think one year I was just like, I hate this. Like, I hate. Okay. So, we have a parade down here, which passes right in front of my house. Like, I could walk up to the highway, go to the parade, walk back. I don't have to worry about parking. I don't have to worry about going to the bathroom because I would just walk home. And it's not a huge parade. They're not doing it this year. I don't think, at least, but knowing how stupid my parish is, they might be doing it. It makes the biggest mess. Like, people, first of all, if the parade's on a Sunday, which it usually is, they will start parking on the highway on like Thursday and just leave their trucks or their cars out there to stake out a spot. They'll stake off areas of the neutral ground between, like one highway's going this way, one highway's going that way, and there's grass in the middle. They will stake that off and claim it as their own. The trucks are all in the street, so when you're like pulling out onto the highway, you can't see if you're about to get hit by another car. And these people just make such a mess. It's just, everything looks like trash afterwards, because even though the parish provides all these garbage cans everywhere, everybody's like, well, I'm just going to leave all my crap everywhere. You know, there's beer cans, there's beads. It's gross. So I have never as an adult enjoyed Mardi Gras. When I was a kid, we used to ride in one of the parades. I was always what was it called? A page? Was I a page? Is that a boy role? Anyway, my mom and dad were king and queen of a crew when I think it was 1985, 87 maybe? I was young, like I was really young, because there's like a VHS of me like walking up on the stage to go see my mom. Well, I mean, I guess my dad was there too. Go see my mom, and she's dressed up in, you know, full costume, and then my mom was Empress of another crew for their 20th anniversary. But as an adult, I just have not been into it, because it's just, everybody makes such a mess. I hate tourists. I don't even have to deal with them. It's just like, it's like the mess. I don't like the mess. Like, don't make this, New Orleans needs no help looking like a mess, okay? I used to enjoy when I was little, I guess. I used to have this documentary, like when I stopped going to Mardi Gras when I was probably like, I don't know, like when I was old enough to stay home by myself, or when my sister was old enough to stay home. I used to have this documentary that came on PBS about Blaine Kern, who makes all the floats, and it was the most amazing thing, because they showed you, like, it's probably on YouTube, what I should look for. You know, they take these big structures, and like the mega cruise, the super cruise, whatever you want to call them, they have new floats made every year. Like the smaller cruise just kind of use what's available, like they rent whatever's available, but the big cruise, they have their own floats made. And it was this documentary showing how the floats are made and how they make these big things out of like paper mache and how they decorate the floats, and it was just like, it was the most amazing thing to me. But yeah, never been a super big fan. Like, I guess I remember being a kid and going to parades and kind of being into it, but at the same time, like a lot of my childhood experiences where I should have been having fun were tainted because my dad was always drunk. Michelle's gonna watch this video once it comes out. She's gonna be like, oh my god, Adam, you can't say that about your family, because she just called me about saying something about my sister or something, and I was like, I don't care. I said, and Jen doesn't care. But yeah, my dad was always drunk, so it's hard to like be like, oh, we had such a fun time, and you know, go to school and everybody's like, oh man, we went to this parade this weekend. It was so fun. We were out there all day, and I'm like, oh, my dad got drunk and threw up, and then my mom had to drive home because he passed out, and you know, I think a lot of my experiences when I was younger is kind of, you know, things that should have been fun, like fun family times. They were like, oh yeah, well, you know, it was fun until my dad got drunk and started screaming at me for not being able to catch. But now I mostly just hate Mardi Gras because of Like, I don't care what goes on in the city. I don't go out there. I just hate the people down here. They feel like so entitled. Like, you're gonna claim a piece of public property, like sometimes a week in advance, so you and your family can like stake that out. And it's not like they're claiming like a little bit. Like, they claim like a whole, you know, like a 20 by 20 foot square and rope it all off with caution tape. But yeah, I remember, this is an interesting story that should get an interesting reaction. Michelle will definitely call and be like, you need to delete that whole video. When I was a kid, I think I was either at a Mardi Gras parade or it might have been Mardi Gras. I don't know where we were. We're at some gas station or like by a bar or something. And I had a headache. And I told my mom, I was like, I don't feel good. And she's like, why don't you, you know, you're like 8, or like however old I was. She's like, why don't you go sit in the van unsupervised? And I was like, oh, okay. So I went in the van. I think I laid down and fell asleep for a little while. And I woke up, and there was a guy, like right outside. We had dark tinted windows. He was right outside the van, and he was peeing up against the side of the building we were like parked next to. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, that is definitely illegal. So because I obviously thought I was Nancy Drew, I decided to film his illegal activity, because that's definitely not a filming someone without their knowledge or consent is something you should do. So our camcorder was in the car, and I took it out and I filmed him. I don't think you could see much. I mean, I don't know that you could see anything, because like their back were to this happened multiple times. Their backs were to me, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. So this goes, I mean, it's probably like 10 guys, and like I'm filming, because like the thing about Mardi Gras is like there's porta potties everywhere, but sometimes you have to wait in line. They're always disgusting, and if you're a guy, why can't you just whip it out and pee somewhere? New Orleans logic, not my logic. I don't think I've ever done that. I don't think I've ever been somewhere and be like, hold on, I need to go stand up against this building and pee. So I film all these guys, and then my mom and my dad and my sisters come back, and I was like, Mom, I have a video for the police. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I filmed all these guys peeing. And she was like, you did what? And I was like, I filmed all these guys peeing. And like I showed her, and I was like, look at this guy. He peed for like 5 minutes. And she was like, you filmed people while they were peeing? And I was like, yeah. My dad was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, well, they shouldn't be doing that. Isn't that illegal? And I think he actually said, not as illegal as filming somebody while they're peeing. And he was like, also, I'm drunk. And I was like, well, you know. So yeah, that tape didn't make it to the police. The 90s, when you could leave your child unsupervised in a seedy parking lot during a parade. My grandpa used to be super into the Irish-Italian parade, because he was Irish and also an alcoholic. And you want to know why I don't drink? There you go. My mom would tell me that he would get up on the morning of the parade and drink, what did he drink? I think he drank like a dozen raw eggs, so his stomach would be full, so he could drink all day without like passing out. I think it was a dozen raw. It was something disgusting, because I remember her telling me, be like, that is so gross. Why would anybody do that? And my mom was like, well, he wanted to have fun and drink. And I was like, can't you have fun without drinking? She was like, you would think so, but probably not. But yeah, he loved that. the Irish Italian parades. I don't know if they're like this everywhere. They throw fruits and vegetables, mostly vegetables. Like they throw cabbages, and because you know nothing says I'm having a fun time at this parade like getting hit with a big bowling ball sized cabbage in the side of your head, or you know a potato or carrots or a pineapple. Is that parades like do they do that everywhere? Or was somebody in New Orleans just like, hey, what if we just throw cabbages at people? That's like, even today, my mom, she doesn't do parades anymore either. But when she lived in Metairie, before her and Carl moved down here, there was one that passed like right by her house, and she was like, I gotta go catch the end of the parade. So she would like walk down to where the parade was ending, because at that point they're just trying to get rid of everything so they don't have to take it home. So people were like throwing, you know, 6 cabbages off the float at once. And she came home with all this stuff, and she brought them to me the next day. She's like, I bought you 6 cabbages and a bunch of carrots and some potatoes and moon pies. And I was like, are these like parade cabbages? Like, were these on the ground? And she's like, no, I caught most of them. Some of them hit me in the head. And I was like, okay. Cool. So yeah, I don't like Mardi Gras. But I like Mardi Gras stuff. Like if I could find that documentary, I would stop everything and go watch it. I like the balls. Everybody got dressed up. I think if I was going to do anything, I'd go to a ball before I went to a parade. Just because at least the people there are by invite only. So you don't have somebody throwing up next to you. Unless you're me and it's your dad. Okay. So, wow, that's a lot of wreath. I'm just going to get up real quick to grab my sign, because it is not a Mardi Gras sign. It's a Bourbon Street sign, because I couldn't find something that went with the craft, not the craft, I keep calling this craft from when I used this craft book, the natural mesh and the purple, green, and gold. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to make a bow, and yeah, I'm going to figure that out tomorrow because headache's kind of coming back, and yeah. Is this sign kind of printed off? So no, it's on there, okay. Yeah, I got everything's from Craft Outlet except for the base mesh, that's from Hobby Lobby, so I like this. I mean, it's going to be Mardi Gras without it saying Happy Mardi Gras, so yeah. I'll be back tomorrow to work on the rest of that and, you know, tell you some more stories about me videotaping people without their consent. Okay, it has been a couple of very stressful days? I don't know. Time has lost all meaning to me. I just want this millennia to be over. Okay. Base is done. I've attached some pipe cleaners to my sign. I don't know if I want to put it on right now or if I want to get the bow done or what. What do you guys think? I want this here. My bow will go down. I want this up here. My bow will go down here. And I have a floor, like a giant floor delay. I don't know if I want that there. I think I just want like a big bow here. Keep it pretty simple. So look what I got. Because you guys know how I struggle. These are some plastic yarn needles. I have these, and I have these, but I figured the pipe cleaners would be easier to get through these. Yep, right through. Well, can't believe we wasted that whole last year of me struggling with these. Okay, well, if you struggle, go get you a giant needle. Those are by the knitting needles and crochet hooks and stuff in Walmart. I think those are the ones they use for like, well, not one that big, but like the other ones over there are ones they use for like that plastic canvas. Remember that? They used to be like a big deal. That seems like something I would like. So what's going on with you guys today? This is the maybe second or third time I've been out of bed today. Got up this morning and I was like, ha ha ha, still dying. I went off to go get some stuff, some sick supplies again. I came home, took a nap, ate a sandwich, threw up, you know, typical fun stuff. Okay, so that is in there, and you will go off to the side while we make a bow with some interesting ribbon choices. I don't know what the logic behind these were, but let's see. I have this left over from Christmas. I didn't order any gold because I knew I had plenty of gold. I have a black and gold fleur-de-lis ribbon. Not particularly Mardi Gras, but it's New Orleans. Gold glitter, green glitter, and gold and purple harlequin. And I think I want, this one's obviously going to go up front. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. I want this to be a little further off, so let's do, how's that look? I'm tempted to add some black and white because the sign's black and white, but then I'm like, eh. Which, that's what I'm going to stay with. I'm going to stay with eh. Alright, so these are Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet, and this one was from a Michael's Craft Outlet. Oh, please don't make a mess. What? Hey, that's not too bad. I can't believe my thing flew off in the other direction. Alright, I'm going to make a 3-loop bow. Starting at 6 inches, then going, well, let's start at like 7. 7, 6, 6, 5, 4, maybe. Behind this table and get that tag because I was having a lot more fun making bows when I had my little ribbon thing working with me instead of against me. So what do you guys do when you're sick? I read an article that said how to stay in bed all day when you're sick, and I was like, this is so, it was like a, you know, it was on the website of one of those people, you know, they sell you the mattress that comes in a box. So I think their information might have been a little skewed. They might have been trying to sell me a mattress. it was like, set up a sick station, make sure you have a thermos of soup, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, who has time for this? Make sure you're getting your fluids and prop yourself up, and I was like, ugh. And they told me to get a sick buddy, like somebody who comes over and helps me. That didn't happen. I stayed in bed and I was just like, I don't know, there used to be days where I would get up in the morning and I'd be like, I'd tell the dog, I'd be like, hey, you think today's like a stay in bed day? Like, we'll just stay in bed and watch YouTube and we'll watch a movie, we'll watch Netflix, whatever, and I would like plan the day to stay in bed all day. And now, I'm just like, I gotta get up and do stuff, I gotta get up and do this, I gotta get up and do that. If I don't do this, it's not gonna get done. But I think I just felt so crappy today that I was like, screw it. Do I want to put this gold right on top of this other gold? I don't think so, huh? I mean, add 2 rows of this. I feel like this is going to be a mess. So yeah, that has been my day. I was sick a couple times. Took a nice hot shower, thinking that my head's just been killing me. And it's like my headaches make me throw up. Not eating makes me throw up. Just general life makes me throw up. So it's like, I was talking to my mom, she's like, did you eat? And I was like, no. And she's like, why not? I said, because if I eat, I'm gonna throw up, which is gonna make my head hurt worse. She's like, well, did you take something? I said, no, I didn't take anything because I haven't eaten anything. And whatever I take is gonna make me throw up, which is gonna make my head hurt worse. Okay, I like that there. Love this ribbon, but for some reason I got the green and the purple glitter, but I didn't get the gold. And I am sure I have gold somewhere. I had to get something done today, even if it's just making this bow. Watching the Gremlins too. I'll watch movies from back in the day and you're like, wow, that's super offensive. Business, no barking. But this scene, like where the neighbor guy comes to visit the other two in the city, and he's like, there's Russian cab drivers, who knows what could be going on with this and that, and he's very like xenophobic. And I was like, is this not the Mardi Gras collection? I've never had one like that before. I'm like, is this supposed to be like, he ends up being kind of like the hero of the story, And I was like, are we supposed to be rooting for this guy? Because he just kind of seems like a jerk. You know a movie's old when the woman in it who is like Billy's boss, like she's walking around the office smoking a cigarette. Like always has a cigarette in her mouth, and I'm like, can you I know you can't smoke indoors, like anywhere. Oh, but it was a different time. Gremlins roam the earth. What are we just gonna do? I think we'll just do a small loop for this one, huh? Okay, so that's kind of pretty. Business. My Walmart's like devoid of Christmas stuff, so I'm thinking they're going to be putting Mardi Gras and Valentine's Day stuff out. We had so much Mardi Gras stuff last year. I was like, there's as much Mardi Gras stuff in this store as there was Christmas. Like just decorations, and they bring out all the Halloween costumes again. And I have to stand over there and be like, nobody buy these. Mardi Gras canceled. I finally got my wish. That's my neighbor. Business. This as tight as humanly possible. Did that work? That might have worked. I keep making tea and forgetting about it. I want one of those real fancy tea sets. You know, ones where the teas are like $8. Why is this facing the wrong way? That is the question. It's like $8 a glass, $8 a cup. Was it Smith and David and Henry something? Everybody like gushes about their advent calendar, and I remember I went to go look one year to be like, oh, I'll order this for myself, that'll be nice, and it was like so expensive. I was like, no, I'll stick to my great value peppermint tea. Thank you very much. See, my problem with this is that I don't have any stuff to put in here. Like, I have green ornaments and gold ornaments. I don't have any purple ornaments. I have that fleur-de-lis, but I don't know. This is nice. The needle goes through like every layer of mesh, so you're not like pulling the bow all the way to the frame. is cold here. I know it's like, I think it's like 50 something, but that's cold for us, y'all. I know somebody out there is like, it's negative 19 here in Fargo. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's cold for us. Alright, so we did the purple first. Is anybody else super into podcasts? Like, I never thought I would be, because I'm like, why do I care about your opinion? But, because honestly, that's like my whole life. I'm watching, like, I'm not watching, I'm like reading, listening to, Jesus, get it straight. All these podcasts lately, like when I'm in the shower, or if I'm working on something that I'm not recording, which that hardly ever happens anymore. I really like podcasts, even though I'm like, these people don't know what they're talking about. Oh, and I watched that movie, The Prom. If y'all haven't, I mean, by the time y'all see this video, it'll probably be everybody in the world has seen it. It is so sweet. It's so good. I don't like Kerry Washington as a mean lady, but very good regardless. I mean, Meryl Streep and Nicole Kidman, come on. This needs to... What does this need to do? I don't know what that needs to do. I don't know what I need to do. Come on. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, see, all that twisting I did. I want this to come. Okay. Okay. Alright. I want that to come up some. Yes. That means this needs to. That look right? They want it to sink in a little bit, just not as much as they normally sink in. Okay, and that's our wreath. We're done. No, we're not done. I feel like... Let me think about this. Let me try to think through this while I trim these tails. I have green and I have purple tubing, which I don't want to put on here because, I don't know, it's something about the natural mesh and the tubing that just doesn't sit right with me. I have gold and green balls, which would mean I would need to add more purple, which I don't know that I have. Yeah, I did a Mardi Gras with like a big top hat in it last year. And everybody's like, show us how to make the top hat. And I was like, yeah, I will, and then I never did. What are we thinking? Is anybody coming up with ideas on what to do with this? Sorry, I'm not more like energetic and storytelling-ish, guys. I was trying to explain how I felt the other day. I was like, think of the most pain you've been in, but the most uncomfortable, because it's not really pain, I'm just uncomfortable. How uncomfortable, the most uncomfortable you've ever been, and then, you know, add on top of that, the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to you. And that is how I feel. Nothing traumatic has happened, that's how I feel. And I wish that was an over-exaggeration, but it is not. Hey. See, I kind of like this peeking out from behind the bow, because you know what it is. I mean, you know it's a fleur-de-lis, obviously. I also like it down here. I think I actually might like it down here better. I wish I had my Patreon up and running because I could take a picture and be like, hey, do you like it here? Do you like it up here? I mean, maybe if I put it like here. I don't know. I'll come back to this. It's aggravating me. Whenever we come back, I'm going to have this in. I'm just going to stick some pipe cleaners in with glue. Probably bore a little hole with like a chopstick or something. Stick some pipe cleaners in and I'll wire it in. Either here or here. I don't hate that. It looks stupid to just have it like floating. Maybe that. That's fine, might need to go. I don't know, I'll figure it out. It's been a couple days since I worked on the wreath. I attached the sign, attached the bow, got the fleur-de-lis on there. I can't find purple anywhere. Anything? No ribbon. I mean, I have purple ribbon. I don't have any smaller purple ribbon. No ornaments because Christmas is apparently over, so I'm gonna add this and this as my ribbon tails, and I have some ornaments that were in a Goodwill box because I hate these red ones. But I'm just gonna take the green and gold out, and you know, maybe I'll find purple ornaments closer to Mardi Gras. Walmart had some Mardi Gras stuff out, but nothing I wanted to put in here. So this is a sign from Dollar General. It is just about 14 inches. Well, I guess it is exactly 14 inches. I'm using this to cut my tails just because when I'm using 2.5 inch ribbon, I sometimes feel like the 12 inches are not enough. So I'm gonna cut. How do I want to do this? I could do, again, no, I have no green ribbon either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And does this leave me with enough to make a bow for another wreath? It does. I'm only doing tails on the outside because I just feel like it'd be kind of a waste to do them on the inside because the bow takes up space, the sign takes up space, the fleur-de-lis takes up space. See, I'm just like, I don't know what happened. Like, I talked to Michelle about it and I was like, what happened to Christmas this year? I said, Big Lots is like a wasteland. Walmart is down to like one aisle of like actual decorations, but 17 aisles full of those crappy gift sets that nobody wants. Hey, let me tell you something. I know Christmas is over for y'all. Nobody wants those. Nobody wants 17 different kind of body lotions that all contain disgusting things you shouldn't be put on your skin to begin with. I'm just letting you know. Nobody wants a bath set. Nobody wants a manicure kit. I'm in a mood, in case y'all haven't noticed. Okay, so I got 6 of those. I'm gonna do 6 of those. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why is this ribbon so wrinkly? 6. I mean, look, it's literally like turned over on itself. Yeah, I went off with my mom today. Today was Mom Day. I don't know what's wrong with her car. It keeps saying like, "Hey, you like the low tire pressure thing comes on." My car actually says like when mine comes on, it's like, "Hey, you need air in the passenger back tire," and hers just comes on and doesn't tell you like where you need the air at. So it's just like a guessing game. So we go to one place to get air, and the gauge won't change. Like it won't go above 32 psi. I guess that pounds. I don't know what it is, and I can't set it to 38, which is what it's supposed to be. So try to do the gas, not the gas, the air there. It doesn't work. So we have to go to another place where I have to get bent over again with my back that's already killing me, with my stomach that's eating itself. This is supposed to be on. Why aren't you on? Are you on? No, you're not on. But yeah, the fancy one at our newer gas station, that one didn't work. The one that has like a dial that pops out, you know, it looks like it's like a steampunk air pump thing. That one worked fine. And I got the gauge to go off, and I was like, okay, that's the last time I'm doing this year, because I did it not too long ago. This is how things are in my life. I pulled the Wreath over, and came with it a pair of socks. Came with it a pair of socks. I am eloquent. Okay. So, I wish I had a purple. I think I'm gonna order again from Craft Outlet later today. I think we can get the gold and the purple in this 2.5. What is 1.5? Yeah. And I can always use the gold and the green for Christmas. So yes, let us begin to utilize. Actually, let me fold all of these together. Some time, so we're not here all day. No, being here all day is not too bad. I mean, I'd rather be here with you guys than in bed moaning and groaning. How do I tell my mom that the place she makes us go eat every Saturday is making me sick? Like, I'm pretty sure that's it. Because every time we eat there, I mean, today's Tuesday because her schedule's all stupid. Every time we eat there, I get sick. You know, it might have been because I had mozzarella sticks, but I only had like 2 of them. So, I don't know. See that extra inch on this ribbon is I shouldn't have to iron ribbon. I have to talk to somebody about this. I'm gonna have to talk to the commissioner of ribbon. sweet. I got an 11-inch po' boy, only ate half of it, and a couple of my mom's fries. I mean, nothing that should have upset my stomach as much as it did. But I also did have McDonald's for breakfast, which that's never good. And I found out today, as my mom found out as well, that they changed her schedule. She was supposed to be getting off on Christmas Eve at like 1. So she was like, hey, if I make a ham, her and Carl used to make a big spiral sliced honey ham every Christmas Eve, and then we'd have it the next day for Christmas breakfast. She's like, I'm gonna make a ham, you know, even if it's just the 2 of us. And I was like, okay. I don't really want to go over to her house at night because that means I have to drive back in the dark, and he's not the best driver. Nobody be shocked about that. And it's not that I'm not a bad driver. Not that I'm a bad driver. I can't see. So I was like, okay. And then one of the women she works with complained about their scheduling and how it wasn't fair. So they changed my mom's schedule, and now she doesn't get off until 8. So they changed her whole schedule. So she's going in from like 2 to 11, which I hate. Oh my god, you guys, I can't even explain to you how much I hate this. Like, I didn't want to like be like, hey mom, listen, I just want to tell you I really hate this, and it's really hard on me because who cares about me? I mean, my mom does, but I don't need her more stressed out than she already is about her stupid job with idiots. But I'm just gonna have to stop staying up until, I'm just gonna have to stay up later because I can't be worried about somebody kidnapping her when she's on her way home. But yeah, they changed it to a bunch of late shifts, and I was like, this is something. I mean, can't they give her a break? My garbage can's right there. I'm pretty happy about it. And so my mom, we went out today to Walmart, and I was like, I wasn't feeling good this morning, and she was like, do you need this? And I was like, no. And she was like, do you need that? And I was like, no. She's like, what do you need? I was like, I need to go home. So we came back home. I kind of caught my breath because being out in public like that and wearing a mask. I mean, it's freezing today. Like, it's so cold outside. But I was like, I cannot breathe, and I'm congested, and I feel gross, and I'm hot, and I'm sweaty, even though it's freezing outside. It's like I have to come home and just like decompress. But once I did that, she's like, what are we doing today? And I was like, let's try to make some sense of this living room, which we kind of did. She's like, what exactly are you doing? And I was like, I'm taking stuff that's in boxes, and I'm putting it in other boxes. Other boxes are other boxes. And she's like, what's the difference between the 3 boxes? I was like, one of them is my keep box, one of them is my throwaway box, and one of them is my begrudgingly donate to Goodwill box, because even though I'm donating it and doing a good thing, I know they're just gonna sell it for something ridiculous. I have to take the price tags off everything. Like, if I have something from Michael's, like that I got in a grab bag that I want to donate, I have to take the price tag off, because if they see that I have a floral pick that was $24.99 that I got in a grab bag for $4, they're going to charge $22 for it, because that's how disgusting my Goodwill is. I don't know if everybody's is like that, but mine's disgusting. So, went through a couple of boxes, found a bunch of junk, filled up another tote to keep, 2 boxes to go away, and 2 boxes to donate, and a box to throw out, which was just like random stuff. keep finding makeup. I know I've talked about that a little bit more, about how I used to do makeup. I keep finding makeup. I'm like, how is there still makeup to be found in this house? See, this is a good example of why I wanted the longer ties, because this one is behind the sign. So if it had, like, if you take an inch off of here, take an inch off of here, dovetail it, it would have been like this sticking out. So yeah, I think I like the 14 inches. Like, sometimes I think there's too much ribbon. I mean, I've watched people be like, okay, we're going to cut some ties. We're going to cut them at 15 inches. And I'm like, 15 inches? That's 7.5 inches sticking out the wreath. But I think 12 is fine for like the shorter, the 1.5 inch. But I need a little more for the 2.5 inch. We're learning. My mom saw this wreath this morning and she was like, oh, I like it. And I was like, there's nothing on it yet. And she's like, I like that. I think it just had like the sign and the bow. She's like, it's simple. And I was like, oh, okay. It's not done. She's like, yeah, I know you're gonna add a bunch of stuff to it. And I was like, yeah, I gotta get purple ornaments. And then, no. I looked last night on the Walmart app because they're usually pretty good about like what's in stock. So I typed in purple ornament to see if it was like, you know, oh, they sell a box of like 12 purple ornaments in different finishes, whatever. Because I know they do, because I've seen that already. And all the Mardi Gras stuff popped up, and I was like, oh, they have all the Mardi Gras stuff out. I was like, that'll be perfect, because I can just get a box of ornaments, box or two of ornaments. It'll get me through these couple of wreaths I have planned. And then we got there, and they had one aisle of the Mardi Gras stuff up, and it was just like the junk Mardi Gras stuff, like the pre-made wreaths. You think the pre-made Christmas wreaths at Walmart are bad? You should see the Mardi Gras ones. And there's just no Christmas stuff left. Michelle said it's because they didn't make as much stuff this year. And I was like, why would you not make as much stuff? I mean, like, people were out here decorating the first week of November because they've had such a terrible year. But maybe they thought people weren't going to be decorating because everybody's unemployed and, you know, nobody cares about us. I don't know. I'm just, like, bummed because I was so excited. Like, I was going to tell my mom, like, you go to this Walmart, I go to this Walmart. We meet up at a third Walmart. And I'm just like, well, there's nothing I want at either Walmart, so there we go. I just really wanted some evergreen wreaths, and they don't even have them for regular price anymore. And Big Lots was just like a wasteland. Like, it was, I told my mom, like, she's like, I'm gonna get a basket. I was like, I'm gonna go pay because I gotta pay. And I hate Walmart's bathroom. Even to pee, I hate Walmart's bathroom. Even standing up, not touching anything but myself, I hate that. That makes me feel dirty in Walmart's bathroom. That's how disgusting the bathrooms are. So she went to go get a card. I went to... Wait a minute. Oh, no. Oh, I never mind. I was like, no, don't tell me I messed these ribbons up. I walked to the back when I like rounded the corner where all the trees are and the ornaments. It was nothing. Like, just straight up nothing. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I was like, I need to speak to a manager. And I was like, hi, excuse me, employee? And he was like, yes. I was like, my name is Karen and I need to speak to a manager. And he was like, I thought you had to pee. And I was like, I do. And I'm gonna. when I come out, I want there to be a manager here for me to talk to. It just bums me out. Like, I know, like, as much as those people who hate when Christmas comes out early, I'm one of those people who hate just as much when Christmas goes back too soon. Because now it just makes it feel like it's over. And y'all are at home, you're like, it is over. We're watching this at the end of January. Why are you still talking about it? Because it's still the middle of November. It's been a year since I got my new car, y'all. It showed up in my time hop. It was like a year ago today, and I was like, oh, I was like, my car. And because I don't have any money, and my mom didn't have any money at the time, Carl actually bought that car for me, so it was, not like emotional, but I was like, oh man. I was like, Carl, you know, Carl did that for me. And he didn't have to. Okay, so, are my pajama pants showing? Probably. Y'all know I don't put on pants anymore? Okay, y'all know I never did put on pants, I'm sorry. Business. Alright, so I'm just gonna put some ornaments on here, and we're gonna call this a day. I really have nothing purple. I bought purple glitter to make those ornaments, you know, plastic ornaments with the glitter inside. Can't find the ornaments either, so yeah, I'm gonna use these. I'm definitely just gonna toss the red ones because those are hideous. Wow. My tea is over here still piping hot. You'll see my little, remember I said about a little silicone mat? I found one today on the floor behind a bunch of other boxes. I'm just gonna get rid of these right now so I don't have to look at them. You're like, wow, he really feels strongly about those ornaments. This is a very hot glue. Yeah, to attach the fleur-de-lis, I just took my yarn needle, which I seem to have already misplaced. That's fine. No, it's right here. I just took the yarn needle and like dug 2 holes into it in the back at an angle and shoved some pipe cleaners in there with a little bit of glue. So these are just going where my ties are in no particular order. Burlap is like fraying so bad. Or jute or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know what anything means anymore. I saw one of my neighbors that she lived in the house next to us. She still lives in the house next to my house that I grew up in. And I saw her yesterday. And she's like, how you doing? I was like, oh, good. I was like, how about you? She hasn't aged. And like she doesn't seem like the type of person who's gotten work done. She just seems like she has not aged. She said, you know, her daughter had come in for Thanksgiving and they stayed there 2 weeks. And I was like, wow, somebody actually did something responsibly. You know, she stayed for like 2 weeks and it was nice because the grandkids were there and they just kind of hung out around the house. And I said, she's got 2 kids or 3? She said, no, she's got 2. I said, but one of them she just had. She said, no, her youngest is 6. And I was like, I distinctly remember being at the gym and I saw her and I asked how things were going and she was like, oh, the daughter, I mean, it doesn't matter, her name is Emily. She's like, yeah, Emily's pregnant with her 2nd. And I was like, that seemed like, not too long ago. And then I was like, wait, I haven't been a member of any gym in like, apparently 6 years. So, yeah. Okay, so, for not having any purple, this sure does have a lot of purple in it and not much green. I could go back and add green, but I don't want to. I want to move on to something else. I don't know what I want to move on to. Oh, I have another wreath, another Mardi Gras wreath to make. Ugh. And it's with that Deco mesh that has all the foil in it, and it's like the worst thing in the world to work with. Because by the time you're done, you're just left with confetti. And I have to cut it with a wood burner, and that's a whole thing. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. You know, don't make your mom force you to get air in her tires. Or, you know, do it because you're a good son and she doesn't know how to do it apparently. That's her thing. I don't know how to do it. And I was like, you literally hold one thing up against another thing. She's like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, all right, I'll do it, fine. Oh, the things we do. Moms, who we sometimes have to call at 3 in the morning because we're having a panic attack. All right. Thanks for watching. Happy Mardi Gras. Laissez le bon temps rouler. Oh God, I feel embarrassed that I just said that. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.